In this video, I am going to go over if God is silent. Now, a lot of people always tell me, Raven, God is not saying anything to me. I'm going to tell y'all, I always tell people that God is a chatterbox. God is not silent, not in my world, okay? Not in my world. I can understand how some people feel like he's silent. I can say like he's silent to me towards certain situations or certain people where I might ask him a question and he doesn't respond, but eventually I have an understanding as to why he did not respond. But 99.9% of my relationship with God, he is in full communication with me. However, I do understand what it's like when you feel like God is silent. There could be a lot of reasons why you feel like God is silent. Number one, you are so focused on hearing a voice. I need you to understand in this relationship with God, this is a two-way relationship. So you cannot control the way that God responds to you. He is his own identity. He is his own person. He is his own being. So you have to allow God to respond to you in the way that he desires to respond to you. Secondly, God is always speaking through his word. Okay? So a lot of you guys are so stuck on, God, let me see a red bird. God, let me see a blue truck. God, let me see this. God, let me see that. And when you get those type of confirmations, you still don't believe it's God because you're not in your word. You don't really have a strong relationship with God because every confirmation that you ask for, you doubt. Well, God, is it you? That is how you know if you have a very strong relationship with God. Whenever you have a strong relationship with God, you will always know when he's speaking to you. How do you know if you have a strong relationship with God? Because it could be something where you know for a fact is God. The way to develop this relationship with the Lord is by spending time with him in his word. Okay? Another thing that I want to address, when you guys read the Bible, you cannot just pick and choose scriptures that will benefit your situation. Let me help you understand what I'm saying. If you're going to read the Bible and study the Bible, you need to read the Bible and study the Bible to get to know God. That is like building a relationship and you're getting to know the person and picking and choosing what you like about the person and forget everything else. I'm not telling you to sit down and read the whole Bible in a full day. That's not what I'm telling you. But I need you to study the Bible to really have a desire to thirst and hunger after God alone and not just for him to fix your situation. That is the reason why y'all be confused. But I'm not judging because I was that way as well. If you are struggling with where to start at in the Bible, I have been telling people to read the Bible stories. Read about Hannah, read about Joseph, read about David, read about Samuel. If you really want to know God and learn how he is, read the Bible and see how he responds in these stories when people were in trouble. The Bible stories is so good, y'all. Like the Bible stories is so good. If you feel like God is silent, you need to back off of the way that you're trying to hear him. Try not to listen for a voice. Allow God to respond in the way that he doesn't. Another thing that God told me in prayer, you guys and a lot of people, y'all don't give God a chance to respond to you. Like you'll be in prayer and you don't feel like you get anything and you leave. How I know? Because I did that a lot and sometimes I still do that. But God does eventually respond, but you have to give him a chance to respond. Because y'all ask for all these different confirmations from God, and then when he gives it to you, you don't believe it's from him. What? That's like you having a relationship with somebody and they're talking to you, and because you don't spend time with that person, you don't believe nothing that they're showing you, and you don't believe nothing. I hope what I'm saying is making sense, okay? So if God is silent, what I desire for you to do is I want you to back off from listening for a voice, read the word, and ask the Lord to respond to you in a way that you can understand. Ask God to respond to you in a way that makes sense. Ask Him to dumb it down, and God will respond to you. You got to let Him. Sometimes He can do it in His word. Sometimes He could do it on a license plate, on a TikTok video, on a YouTube video. However He chooses to respond, He'll do it. But I highly suggest you read the word if you're trying to learn and hear from the Lord, okay? You have to allow God to be who He wants to be. You're not in control of this relationship, okay? You have to allow Him to be who He desires to be, all right?